Connecting right now to Ms. Mahua Moitra from the TMC, Lok Sabha MP. She's joining us live right now. Ms. Moitra, I appreciate you taking the time out and joining us, ma'am. Like I said, there are multiple issues that need to be discussed on an urgent basis with what has gone down in Manipur, with what is going down in the state of Haryana. There is a no confidence motion. There is a bill which the opposition says threatens the federal structure of states. But the fact is, what many would suggest, collectively, the government and the opposition are holding the parliament to ransom. Do you reckon you're failing the people of this country collectively, ma'am?
Just before I start, Preeti, I was told this was a one-on-one.
Ma'am, this is a one-on-one. This is a one-on-one.
Okay, just getting it sure. I'm not sure I want to get into a slanging match with other people.
Not at all.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. When this charge is being leveled, I want to lay something straight on the table. The House belongs to the opposition, right? A constitutional democracy. Now, what's happened here? What is the issue? Today, especially, I was listening to Dipinder right before me, and we're talking about Haryana. Haryana's happened 2 days ago, and 5 people have died. There have been riots, and everyone's in a state of, obviously, the situation is on edge. Let us compare that to Manipur, where for the last 3 months, people have not been able to come out of their houses, have not been able to lead normal lives. 50,000 people have been displaced, 150 people have died, 100 people have been wounded. It's almost like we're living in 2 Indias. When something happens close to Delhi, when people in Gurgaon are being asked to stay at home and work from home, then there's a state of panic, because these are obviously, elite, well-to-do, upper-middle-class people. Whereas if you look at Manipur, it's almost like it's not a part of India. And the Manipuris, the Kukis and the Nagas and the Metis can go fend for themselves. It's been 3 months, and until that video of these 2 women being paraded on the streets came out, actually there was no sense of outrage at all. So right up front, I'd like to say that the Manipur issue is what is very, very important. And the opposition, I wouldn't call it the opposition, I would say the India parties. India has come forward and said that we need to have a debate in the House on Manipur, and we need the Prime Minister to be present. Now, that is not an unreasonable ask. We are the largest democracy in the world. The Prime Minister has not come to the House for 1 day during this session. This is the most important burning issue. There is ethnic tension. It is ethnic. It's almost like a state of war within the boundaries of India. We want the Prime Minister to be in the House while the debate goes on. The government is absolutely refusing. They say we want no discussion, and the Prime Minister will not come. So what do you expect us to do? Normally what happens is, when the opposition comes, or in our case, when the India parties come and say that this is of vital importance, we need to discuss this, we need the Prime Minister to be here, any government with a modicum of responsibility, any Prime Minister with a modicum of shame would say, yes, let's have the debate before anything else. What are we forced to do? We are forced to bring forward a no confidence motion. We know that the no confidence motion, we don't have the numbers to bring the government down, but that is the only way to have a discussion. Can you imagine what a state we have been reduced to, that we have to resort to a no confidence motion to have a discussion on Manipur? And the Prime Minister will have to reply on that? They're refusing any discussion. Why should we discuss with the Home Minister there? We want the Prime Minister there.
Ms. Moitra, the fact is, what you say is not an unfair ask. Possibly, yes, it's not an unfair ask, but what it's done in the bargain is give a free pass to the government somewhere to get away with it. Because what's happening right now is, let's see what happened today in Parliament. You agreed to discuss the Delhi bill. Having said that, the Treasury benches started sloganeering, and it was because of them that the House was adjourned. If the opposition or India wants, they can go ahead and have a discussion. What you're doing by digging in your heels and asking the Prime Minister to come in is allowing the government possibly to get away.
1 second. What is getting away? What is getting away? All of India can see this. Now, what is the rule? When the rules very clearly state, parliamentary procedure very clearly states that when you have 10 days from the time we file for a no confidence for it to be brought to a vote. 10 days. Government has 10 days. The rules of parliament very clearly state that no substantive motion can be brought during these 10 days. Those are the rules of the House. Now, if the Prime Minister, if the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, if the Honorable Speaker chose to completely flagrantly violate the rules and pass bill after bill without the House being in order, what does one do? All we can do is watch. What happened yesterday? They introduced the Delhi Ordinance. We were supposed to have a discussion on it today. India said we will have a discussion. Amit Shah apparently is not in town. So till in the morning, we were told that we would discuss it. Everyone in India came forward to discuss it. At 2 o'clock, pre-planned, the Honorable Speaker doesn't come into his chair. Amit Shah is not in town. He's not sitting in the treasury benches. The BJP treasury benches stand up and start hallagiri, start shouting and screaming, adjourn, no bill. This is a joke. Can you not see this? Is the media deaf? Are they blind? Can they not see this? Can not all of India see this? How is our task is to bring the government. The government is in the dock. We are not in the dock.
But nobody's saying. No. Ms. Moitra,
the government has to answer for its failings. Where are we going wrong? What do we say?
Okay.
We want a discussion of Manipur. They refuse to bring the
But because, Ms. Moitra, the discussion on Manipur is so close to your heart, and it should be discussed. It's been 80 days and counting, possibly a state which should have president rule right now. But having said that, because you want a full-fledged discussion and you want the Prime Minister, at least begin the discussion. Why let the government get away? Begin the discussion.
How can you have a discussion? In the Rajya Sabha, they are wanting a discussion under 267. Has the chairman given it? No. In our house, we have moved multiple adjournment motions saying, can we discuss it? Has the speaker allowed it? No. Please stick to facts. Has the speaker on day one allowed a motion, allowed the adjournment motion, had allowed a discussion in the Lok Sabha, there would have been no problem. Had the Rajya Sabha chairman allowed a discussion under 267, there would have been no problem. The respective chairman and the speaker has not allowed a discussion. What are we supposed to do? Are we just going to let them get away with it? Are we still supposed to sit here and discuss all sorts of inane bills that they insist on bringing on and let this issue go?
Ms. Mahua, the government says that they wanted to go ahead at least with a short-term discussion, which was even admitted, by your very own party people, saying, but you don't want a short-term discussion.
What is a short-term discussion? 4 hours? A short-term discussion is 4 hours. How many parties are there in India? How many parties are there in India? How many people are sitting in the India benches? If every party speaks for even 20 minutes, do we have a discussion on this? Can we have you are telling me as an anchor on a show which is being televised all over India with people watching, with millions of viewers, that a discussion as important as Manipur will take 4 hours? When something like an inane bill on anything, a basic amendment to a bill, gives a 6-hour discussion? Is this what we should agree to? Is this fair for the people of Manipur? What are our people in the Northeast thinking? What are our brothers and sisters thinking? That they're not a part of India? Someone dies there's a problem in Gurugram, everyone starts jumping up and down. All over, and Haryana and Gurgaon is so important. Manipur's been burning for 90 days, we don't bring it up.
Ms. Moitra, my final question, and nobody is trying to defend anyone there or trying to put anyone on the mat. We're just trying to decipher it.
But please, absolutely, but please apportion the blame where it is due.
No, Madam, question. Because there is an attempt on either sides to put the blame where the India alliance is concerned on the government, which your charge is that the government is holding the parliament to ransom, and vice versa. We're just trying to separate on what really is going down. That's what we're trying to do. Therefore, questions will be asked on either sides.
So today, for example, when we had agreed that there'll be a discussion, yesterday the bill was introduced. It was set for consideration at passing at 2 o'clock. While if it was set for consideration at passing at 2 o'clock, it's the Home Ministry's bill. And if they did not have prior knowledge that the treasury benches were going to make a ruckus, why was Amit Shah not there in the house at 1:59? I have one question to ask. It is because the entire thing was orchestrated and pre-planned. Amit Shah was not in the house at 2 p.m. The BJP benches stood up and shouted, and they adjourned the house. You can see for yourself it was orchestrated. Had it not been orchestrated, Amit Shah would have been in the house. Their benches would have shouted. He wasn't even in the house. They had no intention of any consideration and passing of the Delhi ordinance.
Ma'am, that is exactly what I had quoted, because at this juncture, because you agreed to have...
So that's exactly it. These are the treasury benches. Why are the treasury benches not wanting the house to function?
All right, ma'am, because we're running short of time, and I appreciate you. Thank you for joining.